I acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and community. I acknowledge that St Andrew's Cathedral School is on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, who are saltwater and sandstone people, and I pay my respects to them and their culture and to elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to this graduation event tonight, particularly to students Year 12 2021. You've been resilient and resilient to the last. We've just got some exams to go, it seems. We hope you've all received your hampers and you're able to enjoy those during this event. We hope you've all got dressed up and that you're going to share your photos with us on the link provided. Some of what we'd normally do in a valedictory service will be done tonight, and some will try and hold over to an event that we hope to hold next year. But it is strange. It's strange standing at the front door with no students coming in, checking in, sanitising, and wishing that you were here. It's strange because this recording of this event has happened over the last 2 weeks. So some of what you hear tonight might even be ancient history by the time you hear it. That'll be your surprise. Enjoy this graduation event tonight. In a moment you'll hear from Lucy Brownlee, who's going to read the Bible for us, and then from Dr Collier, who for some of you has been the only head of school you've known. And this will be the last formal time probably that you'll be able to hear from him. Enjoy your evening.
There are 2 Bible readings chosen by Dr. Collier. The first is from the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. The words of the teacher, son of David, king of Jerusalem. Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. The second reading is from the book of Romans, chapter 8, verses 20 and 21. For the creation was subjected to frustration, not by its own choice, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God.
Armies defend nations. Schools defend civilization. So said the late Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, formerly Chief Rabbi of the British Commonwealth. As you know, the Old Testament writer of Ecclesiastes said that everything is meaningless. The Apostle Paul said that the whole creation has been subject to decay. That is the principle of entropy. Good evening, Year 12 and parents. I don't imagine these are the kind of opening remarks you expected me to make at your valedictory occasion. But they do frame the big picture, and in that sense, how I see this moment for you. Despite the ravages of COVID-19, which have impacted in total time only a small proportion of your 13-year journey of formal education, some fundamental questions remain, such as what has schooling been about? What is it actually for? For politicians, the answers are utilitarian. We're shaping cogs for the economy to make us all prosperous and therefore happy, and to have them re-elected. I claim that the purpose of education, your education, is much deeper than that. Education should raise questions about what life is about. And I think the answers to that are more than the mere accumulation of stuff. Education is about learning how to live well. It is certainly about acquiring knowledge and skills and attitudes and values to take you towards being leaders, key people in the society of tomorrow when we baby boomers finally shuffle off the stage. In that respect, it is about equipping you to defend civilization, to make a new world. to defend civilization against the barbarism and despoliation we see in the world, in ecological ravages, climate change, famine, disadvantage, displacement, inequality, so-called ethnic cleansing, violence, war and revolution. There is a Christian calling here, as the Old Testament Jeremiah said, "Seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper." You then are the next baton carriers. As emerging adults, you collectively will have your hands on the levers of power as you participate as citizens in our democracy. Will you therefore content yourself with self-focus, trying to pursue happiness alone? I hope not. Happiness is an elusive quality, and it is actually most likely to arise as a byproduct of a life of meaning and purpose. I hope, therefore, you are driven by the Christian ethic of love, and here is where the situation becomes complex. Many imagine the Christian ethic can be severed from its roots, that is, that it can survive without beliefs. History suggests this is not the case. A level of cultural amnesia fails to recognise that almost everything that is good in our world is actually a direct result of Christian teaching. As the historian Tom Holland has said in his recent blockbuster book Dominion, to live in a Western country is to live in a society still utterly saturated by Christian concepts and assumptions. The West, increasingly empty though the pews may be, remains firmly moored to its Christian past. So profound has been the impact of Christianity on the development of Western civilization that it has come to be hidden from view. Seidentop, in his influential book Inventing the Individual, says Christianity changed the ground of human identity. He says secularism is Christianity's gift to the world. It is that belief in an underlying or moral equality of humans. This is also the central egalitarian model insight of Christianity. There is no more influential figure in history than the Galilean, as he was called, Jesus of Nazareth. So, as you carry your youthful idealism into adult life, be aware of a couple of hurdles. The first I suggest is to avoid the arrogance of believing that the social, ethical and political concerns of our society are normative and timeless. Future ages will possibly regard those things which animate us as quaint, deficient, and even morally compromised, just as we make that judgment about our forebears being people of their times. The second is to be aware of the conservatising effect of becoming affluent and relatively powerful. I have seen substantial examples of this. In my university days over 50 years ago, there was a firebrand socialist tutor in the government faculty who went on to become a Liberal Minister of Education. My early time at university was in fact dominated by images of the Paris student riots, the so-called French Revolution of 1968, led by Daniel Cohn-Bendit, who went on later to become a member of the French Public Service and a promoter of the European Union, or the EU. Beware too of prejudicial thinking. Learn to disagree well, to really listen to other points of view, to understand the other and try and work out why they believe what they believe. Don't be content to exist in echo chambers where you only hear views which reinforce your current perspectives. In fact, I like to read and hear that with which I disagree, as it helps me reflect on whether I need to change my views and in fact whether my current position on a matter is adequate and sustainable. I'm trying, you realise, to provide you with a frame in which you see your time at SACS and within which you go forward into the future as people of substance. I'm trying to look beyond the immediate, beyond the HSC, the IB and the ATAR, which are appropriately your current focus, to the rest of life, to the big picture, which is the product of schooling. But what about now, you say? What about all that you have lost due to COVID-19? Seeing your friends, in-class assistance from teachers, celebrations, rites of passage. What about the stress and delays and changes of mind from and by the government? Yes, I acknowledge all of this. It is entirely beyond your and my control. What we do know is that you will be able to receive your credential, whether the HSC or the IB, and an ATAR. You will be able to apply for university, private colleges and TAFE in the usual way. These things government has guaranteed, so it will be a good idea to do some study. Although it is difficult to maintain motivation when the goalposts keep shifting and the finish line is taken further away, that is what you must try to do. You need to draw on the resilience you have learned with the challenges of outdoor education, such as the 20-day Cosy to Coast hike, or paddling down the Murray, or driving yourself on for another surge on the court or on the field as you try to win the game against the odds, or rehearsing and practising yet again to finesse your music or your drama performances. Much success comes through effort and therefore can be a product mostly of just turning up, even if turning up means being on a virtual learning call yet again. Therefore, I encourage you to make the sacrifice of pressing on, despite fatigue and frustration, with the difficult business of studying and practice essays. Making the sacrifice now for a brief time yet will help set you up for pathways to the future. When all is said and done, there are multiple pathways in life. Not everything depends on the ATAR. This is not an argument for ignoring it. The clearest way into the future is to go determinedly through the front door, represented by the ATAR. If for various reasons this does not work, there are a couple of back doors available to you, which could well be good doors through which to proceed. Some of you will do brilliantly. Others of you will complete personal bests, which will never feature in the newspaper, but which will be significant accomplishments as you persevered through and have overcome difficulties of various kinds. We are equally proud of all of you. Whether your results are brilliant or not, I urge you not to let the ATAR define you. You can't reasonably sum up the journey and benefits of 13 years of education, not just the learning, but the capacities gained, the experiences, the relationships, in a single number. Its purpose is simply to determine who gets into which courses in which universities as a starting position. And once that process is completed, no one will ever mention your ATAR again. I want to say thank you to Year 12 for your delightful friendliness, the way you have adopted or engaged with me, an old man, through your journey. I have certainly sensed a real partnership with students, staff and parents, and I want to say a deep thank you to our staff for the wonderful way in which they've shepherded and carried Year 12, not least during the pandemic. Our staff are known for going the extra mile, a biblical phrase for doing far more than was expected. Thank you to our captains Dylan and Jess and vice captains Ethan and Scout for your leadership of the student body and for sharing in muffins and discussion on a weekly basis with me. And thank you, Dylan, for being the designated eater on those occasions. Thank you, parents, for your great rapport with the school, for your belief and trust in us. And on a personal note, thank you for the many friendships I've established with so many of you. I shall miss you. I look forward, Year 12, to seeing how this finishes for you. Strangely, it seems I will be finishing before some of you at least, as my time in the school will end at the end of the first week of December, that is the end of term 4, and at the time of making this recording, we are still expecting there may be some HSC subjects examined early in December. I will, however, be anxious to hear from staff of your results, your tertiary destinations, and your future accomplishments, and will be very glad of any future occasional contact with you or news of any of you in the future. I'm sorry, Year 12, that this year is ending the way it is for you amidst COVID. I encourage you, however, to look to the future, and that starts now, with proper preparations for getting across the line towards the HSC and IB diploma in the best form possible. Beyond that, abiding questions for you to answer really are: what kind of people are you going to be as adults? I urge you to take hold of the SACS spirit and ethic, to be people of substance and quality who will make a difference in the world. Finally, I commend to you the Christian message of the school, which is to pursue God. As the writer to the Ecclesiastes said, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Best wishes, Year 12.
Polite, caring, resilient and battle-tested. These are words that staff have used to describe the current Year 12 cohort. Good day, ladies, gentlemen, students and the graduating class of 2021. My name is Bo Robertson and it is an honour to share with you some reflections for Year 12 on behalf of the SACS staff and a message from Matt Levy, a former SACS Year 12 student and gold medalist at the 2020 Paralympic Games. When I contacted long-serving staff, the ones that you witnessed during Year 7 shuffling awkwardly into our version of Hogwarts to be welcomed and sought into houses, I quickly realised that it wouldn't be possible to fit all of their memories of you into mere minutes. Sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years, one season following another, laden with happiness and tears. Do you recognise it, Year 12? Correct. A quote from Fiddler on the Roof, delivered to you by our one and only dramatic Mr. de Sonia. Year 12 carried this production to the top of the charts. Rumour has it that Dr. Colley described it as the best school production he has ever seen. The road to success is always under construction. Any ideas which staff member has linked this quote to you? It is not one of the design and visual arts team. Miss Bustamante actually used this quote to highlight how far you've come in your awareness of your environment and pursuing your goals. Speaking of the environment and success, even at SACS, sporting championships can be elusive. Mr. Kitek still has the Year 12 boys and girls basketball winning memorabilia strategically placed around our office. On a personal level, my one and only ISA premiership as a coach was with many of the Year 12 rugby players way back in Year 7. I used to give the younger teams a chance to give themselves a mascot, for example, the under-13s SACS Scorpions, and to my surprise, the team called themselves the Elmos, as in the cute red fluffy monster. You could say there were some similarities between Elmo's description in Year 12, enthusiastic, friendly, cheerful, and always wanting to be part of everything that is going on. There was a lot going on when you were in Year 9, and Mr. Chapman breaks into cold sweats at the mention of your Cosy to Coast trip. This adventure included bush bashing, snow encounters, and dodging bushfires. I think Mrs. Haynes has summed things up pretty well. In your life as a teacher, there are moments that show true character of your students. And I feel this cohort have always embodied heart, mind and life to become the well-balanced adults that we have before us. On behalf of the staff at SACS, thank you, Year 12. Speaking of well-balanced adults, I'd like to share a message from Matt Levy, 2006 graduate and 2020 Paralympic gold and bronze medalist. Enjoy.
Throughout that process, then you'll be a better person for it.
Totally agree, Matt. Well said. What message and tips do you have for the graduating Year 12 class of 2021?
Yeah, I think in my life, I guess I was born with multiple disabilities, and I was born with, I guess, a lot of obstacles in my way. But I think it's been, for me, I guess it's been about looking at everything as an opportunity, looking at everything as an opportunity to learn and grow and be a better version of yourself each day. And I think for me, I guess the tips I can really give the graduating year 12 is really do your best and be the best person you can be, because I think that's really all you can do at the end of the day. And yeah, it's really about just trying your best to be the best version of you. And yeah, if you tick every box, if you leave every stone unturned in your quest to succeed, then I think that's really all you can ask for.
As I said, Matt, you've inspired myself personally, my children, the school community and our country. So well done. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch you in action. And thank you so much for giving up your time and for passing on those messages to Year 12. I'm sure they really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks so much for having me, and good luck to the Year 12 that are graduating soon.
Hi, I'm Sally Sternecker. I'm Liam and Sternecker's mum. I've been at St Andrews as a parent and soccer mum since 2014. Today, I'm going to be giving my perspective as a parent based on my association with SACS for the past 7 years. Today is valedictory. Just even saying the word puts a lump in my throat. I had the honour of attending the 2019 SACS valedictory for my oldest son, Marcus, in person in the St Andrews Cathedral, and there was not a dry eye in the house. So needless to say, today's been blocked out in the calendar for a long time. This is not quite the same experience as it was in 2019, and it's not what we were expecting when we all blocked this out in our calendars, but it still has the same meaning, and we can still recognise and congratulate our kids just as much. So fellow parents, if you haven't done it already, grab your box of Kleenex tissues, a celebratory glass and a comfortable chair. The Valedictory Assembly is one of the most important and rewarding events as a parent. So even though it's online, I'm sure that you and your children will still enjoy it. So tonight's all about the class of 2021. So let's reflect quickly on the last 13 years of their schooling life. When they started school in kindergarten 13 years ago, in 2009, it seems like it's gone by really, really quickly, but it was actually quite a while ago. Kevin Rudd was the PM. Barack Obama had been inaugurated as the 44th President of the United States of America. The latest iPhone version was the iPhone 3GS. And as I'm a soccer mum, I'll have to throw in the soccer fact that Neymar made his professional debut for Santos at the age of 17. Let's fast forward to year 7, which was 2016, when they're starting high school. Key events then was Malcolm Turnbull was the Prime Minister. Donald Trump, he won the US presidency. iPhone 7 was the latest version. And soccer mum fact was that Leicester City won the championship for the first time in their 132-year history. So let's reflect on the last 6 years of high school for this cohort. They have proven that they are resilient right from day one. They were the first cohort to do the MYP, and all of us had the joy of tackling the personal project. For those of them that went on the Year 9 snow camp, they experienced minus 15-degree temperatures while they tried to sleep in tents. And the 20-day camp, most of them were dodging bushfires along the way. And now, years 11 and 12, lockdown. And most recently, doing HSC trials and IB exams at home. That's resilience. So my experience as a parent during this time has been mostly fun. The kids have been able to look after themselves. And I've made a really good group of friends, and a lot of them are going to be friends for life. We've had some really good parent events, trivia nights, either in person or remotely, cruises, nights out, parent get-togethers. Most of them have been organised by our wonderful convener, Rachel Rashke. So thank you so very much, Rachel, for all the energy and effort that you put into friend-raising across this group of parents. Really, really, we've had such a great time. And I look forward to continuing this fun after the kids finish school. And also reflecting on the last 6 years, the kids couldn't have done it without the amazing teachers. Dr. Collier, Mr. Lindsay, Mr. Swivel, Mrs. Tatsis, Mrs. Munro, and all the other teachers that have had anything to do with their education over the last 6 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really been an amazing experience for us and for the children. I mentioned before that there's been a lot of fun events at the school, and I'd like to thank Lynn Jarvis and her team for the amazing communication and coordination that they do to help bring parents together, and Jude in the kitchen for all her amazing catering, which has really been fantastic at those events as well. I'd like to do a special shout out to Dr. Collier in his final year at St Andrews. He's been an amazing principal, and this is the last cohort that he's going to see through the school with their ATARs. So thank you so much, Dr. Collier, and wish you all the very best in the future. So what's next for our kids as they finish St Andrews and go on to bigger and better things? Vaccination is probably a very high possibility. They're going to get to go back to school and see their friends after the 25th of October, which is very exciting. They're going to complete their HSC and IB final exams. School formal, some sort of schoolies, we hope. Christmas, hopefully celebrated with extended families. Dr. Collier's last ATARs at St Andrews. And then whatever their journeys take them to do, whether it be further studies or career aspirations. Each child has their own journey, and I really wish you all the very best with whatever your next steps are. And finally, I'd want to finish a quote from an old Andrean called Matt Levy. He's a Paralympian that's been performing at the current Paralympics. Here are some inspiring words from him after he won a bronze medal. At the end of the day, it's not just about what we start with, but it's what we end with and all the other things in between. So for me, I guess it's about living your own life and what you can do day in, day out. Thank you.
Good evening to all parents, staff, and Year 12 peers. For those who don't know me, my name is Luca Crothers, and I have been a student at St Andrews for 12 years. I did not realise I'd be having my valedictory service in my living room, but times have changed. I can't say I'm complaining though. I get to sit in the comfy couch, no wooden seats, and no old scenery. Sorry, Dr. Collier. I don't know about the rest of you, but most of my nights have been consumed by movies and TV series, and I have to say my love for Gilmore Girls has definitely grown. All jokes aside, I would have loved to have been there with you tonight. If St Andrews has taught me anything, it's firstly that I cannot do maths. Sorry, Mr. Lindsay, but nor can the staff who tallied the Sachs Factor results. And secondly, it's that school is greater than just a building. It's the people that make up what the school loves to refer to as heart, mind, and life. A little cheesy, but it sticks after a while. I joined St Andrews when I was 6 years old, the same year Dr. Collier became headmaster. Now, anyone who truly knows Dr. Collier would understand that he's one of the nicest people you will ever meet. And I know the story has been used a few too many times, but he truly does know everyone's name. Besides Dr. Collier, the other teachers are incredible. The love and care in which they have shown each one of us, particularly during this unsettling period, has been phenomenal. Whether it's Miss Stutzel's Chocolate Fridays, Mr. Oshiro's motivational cards, or socks from Miss Panczyk, the support is amazing. I was told to share a few memories, in which I have so many, but undoubtedly I have to say my favourite memory throughout my entire schooling was spooning with the boys on 20 Day, and the rest of the camp wasn't too bad either. An amazing experience for everyone, maybe besides Marcus, who kept throwing around gang signs, but that's a different story. On behalf of all the Year 12s, we would like to thank Mr. Van Wackham and the rest of the outdoor education staff who made the experience unforgettable. To the teachers, thank you for believing in us and creating a second home in which we could develop. To our parents, you have all sacrificed more than we can imagine and are true inspirations to us all. To Dr. Collier, it is unfortunate that the future years will not be able to experience your 30-minute speeches, but also your sincere kindness in which you have shown towards us. On behalf of Year 12, I hope you enjoy the next exciting chapter of your life. Finally, to the rest of Year 12s, our HSC and IB exams are almost over, so don't be disheartened by the time we have missed, but just look forward to celebrating together soon. Thank you.
Greetings, distinguished viewers, people trying to figure out who I am, and Year 12 Canterburyans from the class of 2021. Congratulations guys, you've done it, and we're celebrating your success today. And parents and carers, this day is yours as well. Let's not forget about you. I mean, how could they have done it without your love and support, without your credit cards and the reliable Wi-Fi connection? Look at Year 12. 10 weeks ago, you were told to come into school to get your stuff and get out. Something no one has said to me since I failed my Year 4 maths exam. But in your final years of high school, you've met the challenges of this incredible time with wit, creativity, and determination. This is no surprise, of course, as I've had the privilege of seeing your character grow over the past few years. We've seen it through when we would lose basically every single house competition since I was installed. Except, of course, Sax Factor this year. We've seen it through your caring friendships and the service of others. We've seen it when you've committed to very demanding responsibilities with grace and with grit. Some of you have persevered through very difficult personal circumstances, health challenges, and have come from afar, leaving your homeland to live and study successfully in this country. You have done incredibly well, Year 12 Canterbury. You are remarkable examples of how to be resilient in a volatile and complex world, and I only have the deepest respect and the highest admiration for you. Other than some many hours wasted browsing through YouTube or TikTok or Netflix, Insta, Snapchat, and those naps that you've regretted taking, you have worked so hard, and in doing so, honored your families, your teachers, and your school. Right now, shaking your hand to congratulate you could get us arrested. But I look forward to catching up with you when this is all over. And finally, as you head into your final examinations under such uncertain circumstances, I pray that you would be reminded of the God who gave his own dear Son for you and I to give us the greatest certainty of all, a steadfast hope and an eternal joy with him. I'm going to miss you.
Luke Amsden, Morgan Au, Noah Avery, Toshiki Bennett, Sharning Berroetta, Mark Delicado Corrins, Maria Delicado Corrins, Anna Dennis, Henry Foreman, Adric Louis, Lucy McLean, Nicholas Marshall, L. McPhee Thwaites, Leo Malloy, Maddie Olney, Gala Pavlovic, Isaac Sperling.
Rowan Mara. I began teaching at Sax in 2003 when your cousins Matthew and Rebecca were studying here. Since then, your sister Ali and brother Robert have attended. So for the last 20 years, your family has been part of Sax. It's been wonderful having you all here. As for you, Rowan, many of us in Durham have really appreciated your optimistic, mischievous, happy-go-lucky outlook on things. Of course, Ben, you and your family have been part of Sax and Durham House for quite a few years too. I hope you've all enjoyed the experience. I, for one, have really appreciated the Yee sense of humour. And by the way, Ben, I still remember the neural network you coded in Year 11 software design. That was seriously awesome. Of course, I could hardly mention Ben without speaking of Ryan Murray and William Lyle as well. You guys have been as inseparable as you have been reliable. I was looking through some photos of the Year 10 formal and I don't think there's a single shot where the three of you aren't all side by side together. Lucy Brownlee, you and your sister have been part of Durham House for the past 5 years too. You guys have brought so much enthusiasm, kindness and generosity to the house and done so many wonderful things. But you know, Lucy, I really think the rap you did during Durham's Sax Factor performance this year made you a legend. Speaking of legends, Jackson Bryant and Miles Dellett, I'm going to miss you guys. Honestly, for 6 years, whenever I've seen you around, you've always been willing to have a chat. You're so full of energy and brought so much to Durham. I wish you the best, my friends, as you go forward into the world. Hey, Harry Windsor, did you hear about the Italian chef? He pasta way. Harry, you are a great Christian. Your kindness, generosity, humility, and the care you show for people is inspirational. Thanks for everything. I mentioned Sax Factor. Well, I can't do that without a shout out to Arabella Curnow and Grayskull Hawley. Your musicianship, singing, and reliability was so valuable to our team. And you have been great Durham House officers. Thank you. And of course, thank you to Mr. William Varga. Seriously, William, the work you did on Sax Factor was astonishing. In its lead up, I had to keep reminding myself the group was being run by a high school student, not a seasoned, highly paid music professional. Outstanding work, William. And outstanding work, Darcy Holmes. The last time I asked, I think your PB in a high jump was 2.08 metres. Well, apart from your mind-blowing high jumping ability, your humour, humility and genuine goodwill has seen you make tremendous contributions to Sax and Durham. Thank you, my friend. To Jade Lee and Hannah Lee, of course, you were integral to Durham's Sax Factor bid, but the truth is, you two have been at the heart and soul of Durham House for years. You've jumped into every carnival, competition and co-curricular event since I've known you. You are fearless, adventurous and passionate. God bless you both. And God bless you too, Charlie Dowling. It's been wonderful having you in Durham House and I wish you all the very best. To Sam Lynch and Jess Smith, wow, you two have only been here 2 years, but it seems like so much longer. In a short time, you've endeared yourself to so many people in Durham and the school, and this gives testament to your verve, kindness, care and empathy. Speaking of kindness and empathy, shout out to Jared Hall. Not only do you laugh at people's jokes and make them feel funny, you even do that for me. You're willing to get involved in everything. You've been a fantastic house officer, Jared. Speaking of house officers, Charlotte Rands, thanks for your help this year. And by the way, do you know I still use your Scratch project in Year 7 as a waggle? Speaking of Year 7 and going back a ways, shout out to Daniel Kotov, Isaac Williams-Kelly and Alaric Torno. I first taught you guys in Year 7 and you've been faithful and reliable Durhamites since. You guys have written on the pages of our history and we are better for it. Thank you. To everyone in Year 12, but particularly those in the blue and black, stay strong, we're proud of you and we love you. And remember, my 2 pieces of advice, do your best to do your best and be kind to people.
Lucy Brownlee, Jackson Bryant, Arabella Curnow, Miles Dellett, Charlie Dowling, Grayskull Hawley, Jared Hall, Darcy Holmes, Daniel Kotov, Jade Lee, Hannah Lee, William Lyle, Sam Lynch, Rowan Maurer, Ryan Murray, Charlie Rands, Jessica Smith, Alaric Torno, William Varga, Isaac Williams-Kelly, Harry Windsor, Benjamin Yee.
Year 12 Hereford 2021. I hope you're having a good evening so far, enjoying the videos and the messages that are coming through, and being there at home with family and sharing in this moment. For me, I just wanted to start by thanking each of you. This is a terrific group. We've had a lot of fun, given everything, right? Even though you've had 2 years now of having to deal with a lockdown, we've had as much fun, if not more, than any other group that I've had. And I think that's because this is such a close group. You guys are really, many of you are such good friends. Therefore, it just made it all the more special. I wanted to just quickly go through and just speak about some things and moments that stand out for me, and comment about certain individuals, what they've been able to do. Firstly, I'll start by just saying thank you to the leadership group here. We've had a terrific leadership group, a lot of prefects and things here. Anna has been such a great house captain. All the students just really love having you up front in charge, and you've got so much talent as well that you bring, but so kind and generous. Thank you to your team, your sort of leadership group that you've got there with you, your kind of senior council of Gladys and James, Stuart, Alex, Zazu, Gemma, Flynn, and I know Tom Baxter and Alex Janion have jumped in as well and been a big support to you in that sort of leadership group. You guys have been amazing. There's so much talent in this group, across the whole tutor group, but and it's really come through with the way you guys have been able to do amazing Sax Factor performances and the bake-off and make-offs over the years, all of the Dean Pittsfield events, but then also the little moments too, just connecting with younger year groups and being great role models. So thank you. Can I just also do a shout out to my amazing debating team and philosophers of Jack, Scott and Leo, Nicholas, Matthew, and I know Gemma helped out there as well. You guys have been brilliant. We've won so many debates. What am I going to do next year without you guys? Hopefully we can bring it together. I want to say a special farewell to MGM. Was AGM and then MGM. It's going to miss not having a Gory Meakin in the house, that's for sure. Some of my other colourful characters, Aaron, always got something creative to add for an event, a Dean Pittsfield event like a banner or whatever it is. Just so much fun to have around. Lachlan Muffet, Lily, same with you guys. Just round out this group and just give it so much character and flair. Eleanor, Liam, I'm thinking a lot of you guys, memories of you guys at retreat and how much fun we had there. I know some of you think it's funny because I fell in the water in a kayak and that was funny too. But really, I'm going to miss this group. Going to miss each of you. I think of Lachlan, Kirk. What are they going to do next year with the recording and the technical and the audio and the Cathedral? You have owned that space. You have been the man there. Some of the musos in this group have been outstanding. Justin Chen, James Stitz. It's just been terrific. And I want to thank those who have been supportive of our charitable causes as well, working with South Sydney Anglican and the other sort of charities we've been able to do. Tom Alcher and Tom Baxter have been big in those. So thank you. Well done. Please finish well. Work all the way through the exams, and then when you do finish, make sure you celebrate. You guys have earned it. You're an outstanding group, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Tom Alcher. Tom Baxter. Aaron Sherray. Justin Chen. Flynn Collins. Liam Donahoe. Lily Edwards Blaskovich. Gemma Gardner. Matthew Gorey Meakin, Alex Genoan, Leo Kershaw, Lachlan Kirk, Eleanor Lavery Jones, Zazu Mackenzie, Nicholas Matthew, Takuya Miyagawa, Lachlan Muffet, Anna Riley, Alex Ringrose, Jack Scott, James Stewart, James Stitz, Gladys Turner, Maddie Whittam.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I said, don't mind, what do you mean? I am the one who will dance on the floor in the round. She told me her name was Billie Jean as she caused the scene. Then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one who would dance on the floor in the round. But people always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Ooh. And Mama always told me, be careful you love. Be careful what you do, yeah. 'Cause the love becomes the truth. Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who thinks that I am the one. But the kid is not my son. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Ooh. And Mama always told me, be careful you love. Be careful what you do, yeah. 'Cause the love becomes the truth. Hey, hey.
Hello, Salisbury. Thank you. I want to thank you for being Salisbury. I want to thank you for we're having to work with you for the last 3 years. It's been an amazing experience for me. It's been a hard term, but we have survived. And how wonderful it has been for me to see you grow into the wonderful young people that you are. Now I'd like to say some thank yous tonight. Thanks, Harris and Robin, for telling me all about their bike riding and pretending that I think I understand what they're talking about. Thanks, Sandbox, for your sense of fun. Thanks, Luca and Tim, for telling me about music very patiently and not letting on that I don't understand a word of what you're talking about. Thanks, Lara, for your enthusiasm for life and keeping me grounded. Thanks, Oscar, for understanding I'm not going to talk about football, even if Souths are winning. It's been a long, hard journey, but we're there now. Thanks, Ben and Jake, for being so tall. Thanks, Finn, for your quiet reserve. Thanks, Sam Jackson, for being fearless. Thanks, Darcy, for all those conversations about shaving. Fascinating. Not sure what I'm going to do about that, but I am missing them desperately. Thanks, Marley, for your creativity and attention to the small things. Thanks, Josh, for always doing the best you can. Thanks, Aruna, for making me laugh a lot. Thanks, Elsa, for being yourself. Thanks, Leo, for your beautiful smile. Thanks, Marcus, for being yourself and, of course, explaining with Oscar why the mullet is the haircut to have. I'm not quite sure I'm convinced, but never mind. And at the end, thanks, Jasmine, for always being kind and aware of the needs of others. Year 12, I'd like to wish you all the best for your futures and tell you how much I have found it a privilege to watch you grow into the wonderful young people that you have become. Go Salisbury.
Harris Barker. Samuel Box. Luca Crothers. Lara Davies. Oscar Frizzle Thomas. Benjamin Grieve. Finn Howley. Samuel Jackson. Darcy Luff. Marley Lung. Robin Luo. Timothy Moore. Joshua Foon. Aruna Qureshi. Elsa Schmolzbach. Leo Stevenson. Jake Thompson. Marcus Ferondis. Jasmine Williams.
Drop in the ocean, a change in the weather. I was praying that you and me might end up together. It's like wishing for rain as I stand in the desert, but I'm holding you closer than most, 'cause you are my heaven. I don't want to waste the weekend. If you don't love me, pretend. A few more hours, then it's time to go. As my train rolls down the East Coast, I wonder how you keep warm. It's too late to cry, too broken to move on. And still I can't let you go. Most nights I hardly sleep. Don't take what you don't need from me. It's just a drop in the ocean, a change in the weather. I was praying that you and me might end up together.
wishing for rain as I stand in the desert, but I'm holding you closer than most, 'cause you are mine. Heaven doesn't seem far away anymore. Heaven doesn't seem far away. Heaven doesn't seem far away anymore. Heaven doesn't seem far away. A drop in the ocean, a change in weather. I was praying that you and me might end up together. It's like wishing for rain as I stand in the desert, but I'm holding you closer than most, 'cause you are my heaven. You are my heaven. Oh.
Bruno Bernstein, Tony Chen, Victoria Demos, Amy Diaz, Jessica Duncan, Lachlan Fardell, Tyler Fleor, Avani Fulavai, Sasha Garland, Oliver Goldstein, Grace Granger, Pavel Inovov, Renee Liu, Lily Mitchell, Oliver O'Connor, Alyssa Palmer, Thomas Palmer, Angus Parry Jones, Nicholas Pelosio, Jacob Rogg, Lily Sawada Hicks, Liam Sternecker, Lawrence Tan.
Hello Year 12 Westies. Congratulations on reaching such a significant milestone in your academic journey and indeed your life. It has been a great privilege to be your head of house and witness your growth, positivity and perseverance that you have shown over the past 3 years and particularly the last term. Today is a really special day for me because it means I don't have to ask or remind you to tuck your shirt in anymore, remove your jewellery, get a haircut, shave your beard, herd you out of the Year 12 area or terrace in a bid to get you to class on time or track your record on Edumate. But sadly, it also means that I won't have you present on level 2 to chat with on a daily basis or plan the next Dean Pitch Shield event with. It has been a remarkable year for Westminster, led by you, our fearless Year 12 Westies, using your maths and tech genius to take out second place at Bake Off, and almost half of you participating in Sax Factor and coming first in Gala Day. But it is the daily things that are so special. The way George greets everyone with such warmth and friendliness, Zara and Lulu leading the team for Sax Factor, Finn's quips, Dylan's tech genius, Scout and Honecker nerding out on Gala Day admin on the floor of my office, Jono in a panda suit playing bass, Clara's huge smile, Emily and Max's quiet achievements, Izzy and Kristen, the friendly dynamic duo who are always up for a chat, Luca, one of the most polite students I've ever met, witnessing Marlo as the ultimate big brother by supporting his siblings, Nick's perseverance and inquisitiveness, Zach's endless energy and involvement, Hide, the poster child for all things Dutch, Ruby juggling her academic workload with a tremendous commute, Christian's zeal and community spirit with the Instagram page, Zach and Joel, the Mr. Tompkins fan club, Stephen, the basketball legend, and hearing the whole house cheer every time Ben Wong takes the stage with his guitar. I am so impressed by your intelligence, positive spirit, and humanity. I have witnessed you all care deeply about the people around you on countless occasions. These attributes will serve you well as you go forth into the world. In Joshua chapter 1 in the Bible, the Israelites are told repeatedly by God to be strong and courageous. You have experienced so much uncertainty in the last 2 years, and it is hard to keep firm footing when you don't have all the answers to what the future may hold. But take comfort and boldly take your next steps with strength and courage. There is excitement in not having all the answers and discovering what life has in store for you. You will be greatly missed, Year 12. But remember, once a Westie, always a Westie. And in the wise and slightly altered words of Professor Albus Dumbledore, help will always be given in Westminster to those who ask for it. Goodbye, Year 12.
Emily Aarons, Luca Boscher, Stephen Caruana, Kristen Chung, Isaac Choi, Max Chong, Nicholas Findel Agnatios, George Gies, Isabel Halmarick, Scout Hollyman, Joel Kanawati, Hanukkah K. Baashi, Marlo Carl Sutherland, Zara Lee, Jonathan Leach, Finn McClooney, Hida Minyan, Ruby Moore, Lulu Mossop, Dylan Newen, Christian Sullivan, Clara Van Holden, Zachary Wetters, Benjamin Wong.
Baby, love never felt so good, and I doubt if it ever could. Not like you hold me, oh baby. Love never felt so fine, and I doubt if it's ever mine. Not like you hold me, and the night's gonna be just fine. Gotta fly, gotta see, I can't wait, I can't take it, 'cause baby, every time I love you, it's in and out my life, in and out, baby. Tell me if you really love me, it's in and out my life, in and out, baby. dress up in the tower. The way you move like you do, ooh, it's like you do it for a living. Do a little spin, do it again. Looks like you're playing for the win, oh baby. I'm trying to float, I'm trying to climb. Skate to it, baby. Skate. Come on, slide your way on over. Slide your way on over. Skate to me, baby. Skate. I wanna get to know you, girl. Skate to me, my baby. Just slide your way on over. Slide your way on over. Skate to me, my baby. I wanna get to know you. I wanna get to know you. 'Cause baby, love never felt so good. So good. Baby, love never felt so fine. And I doubt if it was ever mine. Not like you hold me. Oh, baby. Love never felt so good. And I doubt if it ever could. Not like you hold me, oh, hold me. In the night, through the thick and thin. Gotta fly, gotta see. Can't believe I can take it. 'Cause baby, every time you turn in and out, baby, tell me if you really love me. It's in and out my life, in and out, baby, baby. Love never felt so good. Baby, every time I love you, it's in and out my life, in and out, baby. Tell me if you really love me. It's in and out my life, in and out, baby. Tell me, love never felt so good, so good. Never felt so good, never felt so good. Never felt so good.
Hi Winchester Year 12, Miss Zuka here. I'm so sad that I can't be with you in person today to celebrate your final term of school. We are so proud of you. We love you so much, and we know it's been a really difficult term for you and not what you had expected or imagined for your last term of school. But it's been such a privilege to be your head of house over the last couple of years. Some of my favourite memories would have to be on retreat last year, where we discovered that Winchester can't make a functioning raft, but you guys definitely had the most fun falling in the water together, and I loved watching that. Was also super proud of you guys coming together to create our amazing Wild West themed stall for Make Off this year. Many hands coming together. We had Ollie tea staining the signs. We had Finn nailing everything together. We had Joel painting props, Dakota and Imi putting together our lolly bags. We had Saskia making our sign, Lucy bringing in an actual saddle, which was just, you know, the icing on the cake for our stall. And we won, and I was so proud of you guys and your teamwork. But again, we really are going to miss you all. And so Joel, Tom, Alex, Sam, Kesh, Imi, Dakota, Lola, Elle, Saskia, Ella, Lucy, Emmanuel, Anthony, Finn, Ollie, Peter, Jared, Alan, Wayne, and Dan. We love you, we're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see you in person, hopefully next term.
Finn Callan, Thomas Caston, Emmanuel Chistikov, Jared Choi, Thomas Clark, Ella Colwell, Saskia Cooper, Alan Cotterill, Anthony Davis, Imogen Este, Oliver Galwar, Dakota Grice, Ella Mitchell, Alex Maturis, Peter Ogborn, Lucy Partial, Joel Foon, Samuel Price, Lola Rayleigh, Daniel Sharples, Wayne Sun, Keisha Van Wackham.
What an achievement, finishing year 12. I'm sorry we can't be there to share it together. Sucks, COVID, but just know that I'm so incredibly proud of you. We've worked together for 3 years. You've shown such tenacity and such joy to be at school, and you've worked together. You've worked so hard. You should be really, really proud of yourselves. Your sense of teamwork, your ability to work together in things like Make Off and Bake Off and Sax Factor, and work together with community service, your ability to serve at rough edges. It has been noticed, and it is just extraordinary. What an achievement. The fact that we've worked together for 3 years, the fact that some of you, were at my wedding, that you've shared in my joy of having a baby, even though you were my first babies, just know that I am so excited for you and what the next stage of life holds. Please know that I want to hear from you about what you're doing next year or what you're doing in 5 years' time, because you are really, really special to me. So all the best. Enjoy the celebration. There will be time for you to go to schoolies. There will be time for you to go overseas and to celebrate. But just know that I'm thinking of you, and I'm so incredibly proud to have been your head of house. Congratulations.
Samara Beckett, Anna Broughton, Mirabelle Gardner, Daniel Granger, Sadie Green, Rowan Hassey, Ronan Kennedy, Lillian Knox, Mitchell Lemsing, Adam Levitt, Nicholas Lewis, Will Marshall, Owen Micken, Jai Manzone, Ethan Nixon, Thomas O'Keefe, Nathan Parsons, Andrew Richards, Jasmine Shaw, Oscar Stubbs, Ivy Swibble, Olivia Voris, Xavier Zhu.
Year 12, tonight marks the end of a great journey in the lead up now towards the IB and the HSC examinations. 13 years of schooling has led up to this point, and it's an historic point. It's special and it's significant. You've overcome more than any other year group in generations. Despite the challenges, you've filled your time with great friendships, great learning and great experiences. You set yourself up for the next stage of life, ready for anything thrown at you. It's been a great privilege to be with you on this journey. For many of you, you've been at St Andrew's Cathedral School for most or even all of your schooling life. You're a fine group of young men and women who embody our school. You graduate tonight, with hearts that love, in your faith, your compassion, and your service to others. You graduate with minds that grow, in your persistence, your attitude, and your creative spirit. And you graduate with lives that give, in your courage, in your openness, and in your sense of camaraderie and teamwork towards one another. Well done. But it's not really the end of the journey, is it? Really, it's another beginning. Soon you're going to be out of lockdown, going into summer holidays, getting ready for 2022 and all that brings. I hope that your time here at SACS has allowed you to see beyond just the hardships and joys of this earthly journey. Our school motto is Via Crucis, Via Lucis. The way of the cross is the way of light. And that motto really is one of a great life journey. As you've made your way through school, know that Jesus has been there alongside you. As James chapter 4, verse 8 says, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Year 12, you've started on this great journey of learning at SACS, and now you leave us, straining and heading towards what is ahead. Hearts filled with love, minds filled with knowledge, and lives filled with purpose. You go with our prayers. So, with that being said, let me pray for you. Heavenly Father, please bless our Year 12 in the celebration that they've had tonight and in the examinations that they have to come. Keep them safe and well and prepared for their upcoming examinations. We pray you go before them in their future and that you always stay near to them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All the best. Year 12, it's been great being part of this learning journey with you, teaching you and sharing your great life experiences here as well. Thank you to our parents as well for your partnership during this time. I hope you've had a great evening tonight, and good night.
Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed your evening. I'd like to thank, on your behalf, the production team led by Zach Simpson, who finished his Year 12 here 10 years ago. I, in fact, taught him in Year 12. I'd like to thank Sarah Huxham and Amelia Charles and Sonia Witheridge, who are always involved in your events and this one as well. I'd like to thank Mr. Robertson, Sally Sternecker and Luca Crothers for sharing their thoughts with us tonight. And I'd like to thank Jess and Luca for sharing their music with us. I'd like to thank on your behalf the heads of house. They've been intimately involved in your education for the last 3 years at least. And I hope that you get a chance to say thank you to them. They've been a big part of your journey. I'd like to thank Jude Karikios, who has provided the hampers for tonight. Jude is always involved in a lot of our catering, and you've probably had some of her food many times before. And thank you to Jude, who's so involved in a lot of the logistics as well as the catering. Thank you finally to Dr. Collier, and I hope that you all get a chance to see him in person before you're finished. Congratulations, Year 12. You've done it. Just a matter of exams to go. And we're wishing you on from the sidelines. We came in at the front door, and as we should, we end up with your careers in front of you. All the best, Year 12.
Stay, but I need to go. I want to be the best for you, but I just don't know what to do. 'Cause baby, yes, I've cried for you. Time we have spent together, riding through this English weather.
As the pressure builds, so does the tension between you and me. Time has gone so fast, watching the leaves fall from
I just want you to know I still love you, love you, love you, love you.
just want